Okay, next I want you guys to find out for me, because we want a list of all the elite athletes. Okay, so you can actually carry on from the query that you've been doing. I actually want all the athletes that earns more than 10 million a year or has a record. Earns more than 10 million a year or has a record. And if we have a look at this athlete and net worth query, we then just go greater than and 1 and 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros. Okay, I've noticed that a lot of you guys are getting confused between the greater than and the less than. So let me give you a tip on how to remember that while you're in front of the computer. If you look at the L, you'll see it's the closest to the larger than. If you look at the K, you'll see it's closest to kleiner as. Do you see? Okay. And if you draw in your mind a timeline, that's the other thing I do. If we draw in our mind a timeline from 0 and minus 10 and 10, which way does the arrows point? If I say I want less than 10, which way would the arrow point? That way. Okay? Alright. Okay. So, the next thing I asked you, I'm actually going to close this and just make a new query. But, no, let's do this. Let's change it. So, the way we created it was create query wizard, and then we just added the fields, right? Do you see this, what happened here now? It's actually by default chosen the query that I've just used as the source for my next query. So I need to always remember to change it back to the original table if I make a next query. But let's edit this one, because my next question to you was, I want to find out which athletes either earns more than 10 million or has a record. So, I have to take 1 0 away. I need to add the records field. And what is records data type? The data type is yes, no. So I then need to type in here yes. And I'm typing it on the or row because I want people who either have more than 10 million income or has a record. Okay? Now, if we look at the output, and I actually sorted by records, you'll see these few guys actually don't earn more than 10 million, but because they have records, their records actually display. Okay. See? Okay. Now, we're getting to the next thing that we need to be able to do. I'm actually just going to carry on from this one. Let's say I want to find out, I'm going to do a very, very simple calculation, and I just want to divide the net worth by 2. Okay, so I need to actually now do a calculation on the data that I have. So, on my design view, I can click on the new area here, and instead of using the drop down, I can use the builder to make a custom field and do a calculation. So in builder, I can then say net worth divide by 2. Can I just point out to you that the fields that are available will only show the ones that I've saved since the last time I saved. So records actually don't show here yet because I haven't saved since I've added it. Okay. So net worth divided by 2, okay. Just want to show you what it's done here. It writes express double semicolon net worth divided by 2. If I run this, you'll see that first part actually ended up as the field name, and it has divided the net worth by 2. Okay, simple as that. It's not actually very complicated to do a calculated field. The thing where it gets complicated is basically just for you to know what calculation to do. If I need to find out what 10% of the net worth is, I would have done times 0.1. Okay? Or if I wanted to do minus 10%, the fastest way would be times 0.9. Because now I have subtracted 10% from the total. Okay, if I need to increase their net worth with 10%, 1.1. See? Okay. You can also, if you prefer, do it 110 over 100. If you prefer doing it that way. Not doing the 0.1 thing. Okay. Alright, so that is how one would do that. Can we all try that, please? So, I want you to please work out what 30% of each athlete's net worth would be. Okay, so well done. Most of you got that. It was just, if I just delete this, and I'm just going to wipe those. It was just standing in the top. You can't stand in the criteria row when you do this, hey? You have to stand in the top and go to builder, choose net worth, times 30 divided by 100, or times 0.3. Okay. Right, and then we get 30% of their net worth. Now, the next thing I want to show you is I want us to find out, we're not going to do the full date of birth calculation. I just want you to know I just want to find out how many days each athlete is old. Okay? So we have the date of birth field. I'm going to just tell you how to do today's date in Access. We do it like this. So I'm clicking here, design. Always remember that the design view goes together with the design tab. Okay. So builder, if I do date, bracket open, bracket close, that returns today's date. You see? Okay? In Excel, the equivalent is today, open bracket, close bracket. Then it gives me today's date. So, can I ask you all to please figure out for me how many days? Please determine which athlete is the oldest. Let's just do that. You can figure that out by the number of days they are old. Which athlete is the oldest? So I'm going to create a query with athlete date of birth. Next, finish. Right. I saw lots of you use the previous query that you had. That's fine. If you add a new field, let me just show you. If I add a new field now, gender, and I go to builder, gender is not available yet. Let me just cancel here. If I go here, builder, gender is not available yet because I haven't saved since I added the new field. Okay, only once I save, now gender will be available. See? Okay, so calculation is date, open bracket, close bracket, minus date of birth. Okay, and we can sort this descending to determine who the oldest is. Nolien van Niekerk. Got it? Okay.